I found the reel by accident. No sender, no return address. Just an old tin canister labeled Property of US DoD. Do not view before 2084. The weird part? It was postmarked to me. But I don't work for the government. I'm just a film student. I played it out of curiosity. Grainy black and white footage. No audio. It showed a room. My room. Same desk. Same poster. Same shirt I was wearing at that moment. And on the screen, I was watching the reel. Then the tape jumped. It showed someone watching me from behind. And I realized I wasn't the first to see this. And I might not be the last. I didn't even see the courier drop it off. When I opened the front door that morning, it was just sitting on the welcome mat. A dented tin reel canister sealed in military tape. My name was written in black Sharpie on the side. No return address, no shipping label, nothing that made sense. I brought it inside, figuring it was a prank or some art school stunt. The only marking on the label was one line, faded but legible. Project GLASSVAULT, restricted, do not view before 2084. At first I laughed. I thought it was viral marketing for some indie horror short. But then I noticed something strange. The sticker on the back had a university archive code, the kind used for decommissioned military film stock. Except this one was marked inactive since 1974. I could have left it. I should have. But curiosity beats caution when you're knee-deep in student debt and hunting for thesis material. So I loaded it into the projector we had in the school's AV basement, the old kind with the soft mechanical whir. I dimmed the lights, hit record on my phone, and let the reel play. It was silent. No title card, no opening credits, just grainy monochrome footage of a small apartment, about the same size as mine. And then it got weird. The room on screen was my room. Same IKEA shelves, same cracked lamp, same copy of Stalker on the desk, even the same hoodie I was wearing. I thought maybe someone had filmed me as a joke, but when I reached for my phone to stop recording, the guy on the reel did the same. At the exact same moment, I froze. He looked up, just like I did, scratched his jaw, adjusted the volume knob. Frame for frame, we were synced. Like someone had filmed me seconds ago, edited it onto celluloid, and mailed it to me faster than light. I thought maybe it was live, some twisted surveillance feed. But then the footage glitched, not forward but back. The screen flickered and now showed the same scene from a slightly different angle. Same room, same desk. But now there were subtle differences. A different mug, a different shirt, my hair slightly shorter. Another version of me. And that version was also watching the reel. The screen flickered again. More jumps. Dozens of near-identical versions. All of them watching. All of them alone. All of them slowly realizing what I was realizing now. This wasn't just showing me. It was showing every time I'd watched it. Every loop. Every rewatch. Every moment this reel had existed in my hands, in any timeline. It had already happened. Was still happening. Maybe always would be. And near the end, in a single frame, so fast I barely caught it, I saw someone else. Not me. Standing just behind me, out of focus, watching. I didn't sleep that night. I tried to tell myself it was just an elaborate prank, that someone had spliced together surveillance footage, maybe grabbed clips from my socials, or shot my room with a drone or something. But none of it made sense. The reel had physical grain, dust in the frames, burn marks where the acetate had warped with age. This thing was old, decades old, And the versions of me it showed, they weren't pulled from TikToks or live streams. They were real, but slightly off. The next day, I brought the canister to the school archives, asked the media tech if he'd ever seen anything like it. He gave me a look like I was nuts. "This isn't our asset," he said. "You sure this isn't from the government collection?" "What government collection?" I asked. He hesitated, then said something that chilled me. "Only 2 people have ever requested access to Project GLASSVAULT reels in the last 20 years. One of them was you." I had never heard of Project GLASSVAULT before last night, but there it was, in the checkout history. My name, my student ID, a date stamp, 4 weeks ago. I hadn't even been on campus that day. I asked to see the security footage. He told me the CCTV for that wing had been wiped during server maintenance. Of course it had. That night, I tried digitizing the reel, hoping I could upload it, show someone else, crowdsource a rational explanation. But when I fed the film into the scanner, the program crashed. Not froze, crashed. Entire screen went black. Then a line of text appeared on the display. "Copying is not permitted during active loop." No software I had should have been able to display that message. No loop was supposed to be active. But the reel was still spinning. Slower now, grain softer. The film looked thinner than before, like each replay wore it down a little more. Like it wasn't built to survive too many views. I rewound it manually, just to check. And when I watched it again, everything was the same, until it wasn't. One of the other me versions in the footage wasn't watching anymore. He had turned around, faced the camera, stared directly into the lens as if he knew I was there, watching him this time. And then, without breaking eye contact, he spoke a single word. I couldn't hear it. The reel was silent as always, but his lips were unmistakable. "Run." I slammed the projector off, unloaded the reel, locked it in a fireproof box and shoved it under my bed. That should have been the end of it. But the next morning, I woke up to a package on my windowsill. No address, no label, just another reel. And this one was labeled Playback number 2. I didn't open the second reel. Not at first. I kept it sealed, shoved in the back of my closet beneath layers of blankets, trying to convince myself none of it was real. That somehow, I'd imagined the synchronicity, the duplicate footage, the warning. But the days that followed felt wrong. People avoided me on campus. One professor paused mid-lecture when I walked in, staring, like she was trying to remember where she'd seen me before. My phone began glitching, playing audio snippets I hadn't opened, clips with low static and faint ticking, like film rolling on a projector I couldn't see. The sound followed me, in my headphones, even when they were unplugged, in the echo of stairwells, in the hum of classroom lights. By the end of the week, I gave in. I opened reel number 2. This one didn't show me. It showed the archive room in the library, from a high angle, like a security camera. And in the footage, a man entered. Late 40s, thin, balding. Looked like someone who didn't belong on a college campus. He walked to the shelf, removed reel number 1, placed it in a metal case, and whispered something to the air. Not to a person, to the room itself. The audio was still silent, but I read his lips. Begin loop. Then the footage jumped. Same man, now in a different room. The same one I'd seen in my version of the reel. Only this time, he was watching a film, and behind him, barely visible, was a shadow. A figure in a suit that flickered in and out of focus, like static bleeding into reality. It stood motionless, observing him, just like the frame I'd seen, with someone behind me. I paused the reel, scanning each frame, and in one still, buried in a quick pan of the room, I saw something that made my stomach drop. A bulletin board, covered in pinned photographs, blurred faces, low-res frames of people watching projectors. But dead center was a high-contrast photo of me, taken from behind, from the exact position where I saw the shadow in reel number 1. I stopped the film, pulled the reel out, but this time I didn't store it. I burned it, set it on fire in the sink with lighter fluid, and turned on the fan, choking on the smell of melting plastic. It didn't scream, didn't twitch, just melted. I thought it was over. Until my phone buzzed the next morning. Unknown number, no contact ID. I pressed play. The screen stayed black, but the audio rolled. Film static, low pulses, and then a voice. Not mine, not the man's. Something older, rougher. The signal was seen, archive confirmed. You are now part of the loop. Then silence. My camera switched on by itself. No app, no input, just recording. And in the preview window, over my shoulder, just for a second, I saw the reel, still intact, waiting to be watched again.